Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask Me Anything. I am Kellee White. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm a spiritual medium, and I'm also an author. I wrote a book called Cracked Open. If you haven't read it, you should. And today is March 6th, 2025. And oh, those energies, aren't they just something else? So let me say hi to a few people. Hi, Renee. You know, I am so excited, Renee, to be talking about the violet flame tonight. And it was your suggestion, Renee. So I am going to be talking about that tonight. So thank you for that suggestion. Hi, Eric. Hi, Angela. Hi, Sasha. So for us Aussies, well, thank you for watching from Australia, who haven't heard a lot about the violet flame. I am going to talk about how you can connect with this energy, because it's a really special energy. And frankly, it's like good timing on this energy, frankly. Hi, Sherry Croft. So Sherry's asking if the veil is thin right now. And it certainly feels that way, as we especially really, Sherry, and I'm going to be talking about eclipse weather, because we're in eclipse weather right now. And that's also can make you feel like the veil is thin. But I think it is, Sherry. I think it is. Glow, I love your show. Thank you, Glow. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Sandy Studner. Sandy, did you happen to see that commercial about the Californians for Volkswagen? It was perfect. It was right up our alley, honey. Hi, Frank. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Laura. Hi, Linda. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Jean. Hi, Marge. Hi, Lori Counts. Hi, Luann. Hi, Linda. Hi, everybody. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Sarah. So everybody, let's start off with a card tonight, because I got a message from the guides that I should pick a card for tonight, just for everybody, just to see, because these are turbulent times, as I've been saying. They really are. So let's get a card out for these turbulent times. Oh, there you go. Perfect. Kindness counts. And it really does count, because everybody is going through some deep situations, actually. And with this astrology that we're in, it brings up a lot of things. So if you can remember to be kind to everybody, everybody's going through something right now. Everybody. These are challenging times. So I thought what I'll do is I'll start with the astrology, and then we'll go into the violet flame, and then I'll take your questions. Okay. So let's start with this. Again, I mentioned that Venus is retrograde in Pisces, and it started on March 1st. It's retrograde until April 12th. And what happens with Venus? It's when it's retrograde. Well, it is exalted in Pisces. That's a great thing. But when it's retrograde and it's actually traveling between Rahu and Neptune, it's a little funky. It's not as strong as it normally would be. But this could bring back people in your life, along with Mercury that will go retrograde on March 15th. And they will both be in Pisces. So they will bring back old situations. We can already feel the energy of Mercury retrograde. It's things from our past come up. So it could bring dreams of people that have passed. It could bring people that were in your life, lovers, friends, business people that could come back into your life. It has a potential for a lot of healing for this. It has a lot of potential for healing. So that's something to think about, because on March 11th, so just around the corner from now, Mercury and Venus will be conjunct in Pisces. And that means they come together. And when they come together on March 11th, that will be a time of, I would say, of like great reflection, healing, kind of looking back at your life, looking back in a way of healing. So it also could shine a light on something that all of a sudden you think, why did I have that thought? I'm sure that happens to everybody out there. All of a sudden you have a thought like, why did that person pop up in my head? Or why? What? And it could be an old wound that needs to be healed. It could be a lot of things. So March 11th is really important because of this conjunction. But also on March 11th, because that wasn't enough, because that's just not enough this month. This month, it's like almost feels terrorizing, frankly. On March 11th, also, we have the Sun and Saturn conjunction. So, as I said with Mercury and Venus, a conjunction is when two planets come together and real close together. And so, on March 11th, also, in addition to Mercury and Venus, we have the Sun and Saturn, planet Saturn, coming together in a conjunction. And it's at 27 degrees. And that's always what we would call dramatic news, dramatic times, because, there's just not enough drama going on right now. The Sun represents the king, okay? And Saturn, the planet of karma, the planet of hard work, and health, it also represents the worker. So we can expect some issues on March 11th. And because also at the same time, when Sun and Saturn conjunct, when they come together, Saturn is so close to the Sun because it's a conjunction. It's so close that it's called combust the Sun. And in Vedic astrology, a combust planet is a planet that's too close to the Sun, which causes that planet to lose strength and lose influence. So this is a possible time that the Sun takes over. I mean, this is a very potent time on that 11th, because the Sun primarily is the ruler of government and authority. So this is going to be this could be a pretty intense time, and that leads up to this eclipse, the blood moon total lunar eclipse in Leo on March 13th and 14th. And I call it that way because it's the end of the evening of the 13th going into the beginning of the 14th. And that's at that 29 degrees in Leo in Vedic astrology. And I use Vedic astrology because it's where the planets actually are, where everything actually is at the exact time. So the 29 degrees is really powerful, and it's a critical degree, and that means you can expect a critical situation. So during eclipses, especially both eclipses are so powerful. The lunar eclipse, things happen almost very quickly, either during the eclipse or right after the eclipse. And it happens pretty quickly, up to a month, really. The solar eclipse on the 29th, that will last for 6 months. So we may not see anything. We may not. That's going to be a big one. And I'm actually on Monday's show with James Van Prague. James is still out of the country. And he called me from France yesterday, and they're on their way to Portugal now. I think they're probably there by now. And I'm going to be doing a show with Liz Cook, and we're going to be talking about the lunar eclipses, both on the 13th and 14th and on the 29th of March. And we're going to be using tarot. Liz specializes in tarot. So we're going to be asking the tarot questions regarding this period of time. So it'll be an amazing show on Monday. So please watch us on Monday because it's going to be a great show. But so this eclipse that we have coming up, as I mentioned in Vedic astrology, the moon is in Leo and the sun is in Aquarius. And that represents, like, the key theme for this eclipse will be power struggles and struggle for personal freedom, group control. I mean, this is a big eclipse. And somebody had asked me, and I'll answer this question, and I should answer this question now that I'm talking about it. They asked me what about traveling, because so it was Laura Sherbrooke, Laura Delanova Sherbrooke. She said, Kelly, I follow you every week. Thank you. I appreciate that. My son and his my son and his girlfriend are traveling to Arizona on the eclipse. I begged them to change his flight, but they won't. Are they going to be okay? So let me just put you at ease, Lori. Yes. So here's the thing. I don't like to travel on an eclipse. I think the energy is pretty intense. And I think that the energy that we're in with all of these, with the retrograde of Mercury, the retrograde of Venus, all of these things will require kindness and patience. So if your son and his girlfriend are traveling, just make sure, honey, that they understand to have a lot of patience if you're going to be traveling during this time, because things can go cattywampus pretty quickly because of the energy. So it just means, it doesn't mean like my daughter's traveling on both of those eclipses. So if it makes you feel any better. And I have said to her, are you sure? And she's like, well, yes. And remember, one of the eclipses last October 2nd to be exact. And I'm always like, no, don't go to the hospital on those days. I end up in the hospital having my gallbladder out. So, just, you got to live your life. Just pack a heck of a lot of patience if you're traveling during eclipse. That's all, And if you have to adjust your plans, you adjust your plans. And that's pretty much how life is anyway. So just think like that, Laura. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. Okay. And then we'll talk next week about this Mercury going retrograde, because it's it's a big one too. There's so many big situations this month. But join us on Monday when Liz and I will be talking about the eclipse energy and also doing tarot. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But let's talk now about the violet flame, because I'll tell you, it's really, really interesting. And Renee, I really appreciate that you had asked me about doing this, because years ago, like when I first went down this spiritual path, not knowing anything about any of it, one of the things that happened is I was following a guru. Seemed like for 2 minutes. My husband would say it was longer. But anyway, one day I was in this deep meditation. The thing that I really enjoyed about this guru is they had really amazing, deep meditations. And if you've ever experienced going really deep into meditation, there's something about that. It's so powerful. And at one point, we come out of the meditation and I look up and I see violet like everywhere. And I see violet around this person. And then on top of that, I see this, now I know it was Saint Germain. I didn't know how to explain who it was, but I actually saw Saint Germain, which I'll explain in a minute, behind this woman and doing this, like this healing on the group. And so that's the first time, and nobody had ever mentioned anything about violet flame or anything. I just saw it. So it's a very powerful, thing to think about. It's a very powerful thing to experience. And so the violet flame, what it is it reflects the perfect balance, if you will, of the masculine and the feminine aspects of Father, Mother, God, or the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's a really powerful tool for transmuting negative energy on our lives, in our personal lives, and on the planet. Now, Edgar Cayce he didn't talk about the violet flame, but what he did do, and Edgar Cayce was the medium prophet of all time. I mean, he was an extraordinary healer, this guy, extraordinary medium. And he was a seer. I guess that's the best way to say it about him. But he recognized using the healing power of the violet light, So violet is a really high vibration. And then there was a woman who wrote a book about this. She's passed now. Her name was Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And she wrote a book about the violet flame, probably more than one. And she wrote it about healing mind, body, and soul. And then she wrote a book about the mystery of the violet flame. And in it, she talked about Saint Germain. And Saint Germain is an ascended master. So if you know anything about ascended masters, Jesus is an ascended master. Buddha was an ascended master. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but Saint Germain also falls into a category there of ascended masters. And they say he is the keeper of the sacred violet flame of healing. And apparently, Saint Germain, I had done a lot of research when I first actually saw him with my eyes. I was like, what did I just see? Like, what is this? So I'd actually done a lot of research into this. And I don't know if it's accurate, but it feels accurate to me. But he was known as, he had other lifetimes on Earth, and this is Saint Germain I'm talking about, that leads up to the violet flame here. But he was considered Samuel of the Old Testament. He was considered Sir Francis Bacon. He was a high priest of Atlantis. He was known as Merlin, to name a few. He was an alchemist. And so the violet flame is alchemy. And the violet flame is a spiritual energy source that transmutes or transforms negative energy, like feelings or thoughts, and even, they say, karma, into positive ones. And it is, Saint Germain was also an 18th century alchemist, and he apparently led the Aquarian movement. So the violet flame is believed to represent divine energy and transformation and healing. The violet flame is also associated with the seventh ray of spiritual evolution. And that is, of the 7 rays, it's the highest ray, and that's linked to freedom, mercy, and forgiveness. So I'm trying not to get too complicated in this, but there's a backstory here. And the 7 rays, I mean, again, if you want to go off on a tangent and learn about the 7 rays, it's probably a good time to do it. It really, actually, it's probably a great time to do it. I've been remembering my existential philosophy, so this would probably be a good time for this. But the 7 rays are a system of spiritual energies, and that emanate from the divine source and are believed to influence all aspects of creation. So each ray has a specific color, a quality, and is associated with a certain ascended master. And the 7th ray of the violet flame, is called, is associated with the color violet. It's known as the ray of freedom, magic, and transformation. And it's believed to be a really powerful force to transmute, for transformation and liberation. So here you go, because it's a huge force, that this energy that brings about a positive flame or a positive change. And it's really about manifesting to help to dissolve negativity of karma and of lower vibrations, allowing for manifestation, that's it, of higher frequencies and a positive change. So if you have been just down, depressed, needing some help, and again, these are challenging times, and if you do this, this is a really good thing to do, because I remember I started doing it, practicing this, the violet flame, well, when I first, this over like at least 20 years ago, and I started practicing it, and I have to tell you, I did feel better. I mean, it would be like it moved things along quicker, actually. And so the violet flame is what they call a cosmic eraser in the literal sense, because when it's applied, or if you begin to do it, it begins to scrub away at anything that you carry within your consciousness. So emotions, or even things that are negative on your system and your body. Some people said that it was known as the lake of fire. I'm not really sure. I don't know much biblically about anything, but it's all about alchemy. And alchemy is a practice of, of transmuting one thing to another thing. So when you apply the violet flame, you become alchemists, if you will, of a spiritual nature. And we're all here to have spiritual experiences. And as the world gets more, intense and people are suffering, it's a really good thing to draw on this, actually, because when you start this process, I will tell you, you will feel better. You start to feel better. Again, I did it. I practiced it. I mean, it's a practice. It is a practice. And it says that you have to really, in order, you have to be very specific and direct the violet flame into a situation or into a feeling or into an event. Maybe something that's troublesome or troubling, or you have a lot of discomfort. It doesn't matter if it happened today, and it doesn't matter if it happened 100 years ago or whenever it was, like in your life, something that maybe you've carried on. And so it's like transmuting the power that weighs upon us. And really, you just carve out a space that you feel comfortable, maybe where you're in meditation, you're deeply in meditation. You really go into meditation. And then it's very simple. You simply visualize the violet flame around you, above you and around you, like surrounding you, and this violet flame. And with visualizing this, you just keep visualizing it stronger and stronger and stronger. And as you're doing that, you're saying, there are many things that you can say, and you can certainly go online and get as many of them. I was taught very simply, and it was, I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. Because when you say I am, it means God. It's very, very powerful. And so I am the violet flame. And you just keep doing that. I remember doing this with visualizing all the violet all around me and feeling so hot. I actually thought, I was like, whoa, I better stop this. But it's very powerful, and it's not like a one and done. It's not like that. You have to be like really conscious of what it is that's weighing on you, what it is that you really want to heal, or one of the things you want to you need to feel peace in your life. You might be going around all day long like, I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. I think there were times that I did do that. I swear to God. But I find it's very helpful. And in these challenging times, frankly, I think it's a good thing to practice. Anyway, so that's the violet flame. And, go online and read about Saint Germain. It was funny when I was coming in to do the show, Don said, what are you talking about tonight? And I said, the violet flame. He said, oh, Saint Germain. he remembers all of this with me. And I was like, how did you remember that? I said, oh yeah, Saint Germain. So we can all use a lot of help from our spirit guides on the other side, our ascended masters on the other side. It was funny. I did a session with a woman yesterday, and out of the blue, I said, it's funny. You've got Jesus here. And that does not happen on every session. I swear, it does not happen on every session, hardly. And she said, it's funny. She said, I literally have never in my life asked about him, but she said, I asked him to be with me yesterday. And I said, well, he heard you. So it's interesting. Ask for help. We always talk to our guides. Make sure you bring in your higher self, always. Ask your higher self, I need some help with this. I need some help right now. I've been really going back to my roots as an existentialist. My mother was an existentialist, which is a wonderful philosophy that came out of World War II. And when I went to grad school, shocker, I studied existentialism. Everybody else was studying, different family systems. And I'm like, nope, I've got to study existentialism. And which is living in a world full that it's absurd and chaotic, and still having the position of free will and understanding that you can make a choice at any time. So for me, it's brought me back to center again. But I will start doing the violet flame. And if you do decide to do it, let me know how that works for you, you guys. I'd love to know how that works for you. And before I forget, I have 3 things coming up. I have Empowered Living with Autism, which is a transformative 3-hour journey on Zoom with Prajna Avalon, who is autistic. And she was only diagnosed last year with autism, but boy, has she learned so much about it. So please join us if you feel that you are autistic. You might be on the spectrum, which is really a superpower. If you know people, if you have children, we're going to talk about practical tips for this and using this and understanding spiritually about it. Please join us. It's going to be a really, really good class. And my next class that I also have on April 26th is with Julie Ann Siegel, and this is Crystal Connections, Unlocking Energy, Harmony, and Design. And we're going to be using crystals for all kinds of things, teaching about the energy of each crystal, feng shui with crystal. It's going to be a fabulous opportunity for everybody. So please join us on, and that is April 26th. And anything that we have that you sign up for and you pay for, if you cannot make it on that day, we record it and then it'll be sent to you. So just know that. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about before I get into all of your great questions is on, let's see if I can get this right, on June 20th to June 22nd, June 20th to 23rd, I am going to be hosting an event with Dr. Shirley Impellizzeri and Carrie Gonia. It's the Roots of Healing, the Game of Life, and it's in Burbank, California. But if you know Los Angeles, and if you don't know Los Angeles at all, come and join us. It's a suburb of Los Angeles. You can fly into LAX and you can have an LA experience getting on the 405. I'm going to dive into the Californians, the 405 North, and I don't mean to laugh, but the California thing always comes back to me. To the 101 East, and it's very simple. It's like a straight shot both ways from the freeway. If you've never experienced the freeway in LA, it's absolutely something everybody needs to experience. But it's going to be an extremely important, intimate, transformative retreat, and it's going to be deep healing. We're going to talk about our emotions, spiritually, our intergenerational, everything, ancestral healing, somatic work. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be grouping up. People will be in groups, and everybody, eventually we'll all be we'll be together and we'll be in groups, and I'll be doing readings also for everybody. And it's going to be a really powerful time in an intimate setting to be with me and Carrie and Shirley at a luxury venue, and we have a VIP experience also. So if you go to my website, or if you go to soulvatedevents.com, Roots of Healing, I think you guys will love it. So if you can, we have just a few spaces, so please sign up and join us. It's going to be great. VIP dinners, we're going to have cocktails. It's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that. So yeah, and Margaret, no, it's not the 492, it's the 405. Everything is hi, Brad Phillips, the 405 to the 101. It's going to be very funny. Okay, foolish heart. So when a person, we don't say commit suicide anymore, we say died by suicide, because it's not a crime. Nobody committed a crime. It's awful, and it's a drag, and it brings up all kinds of things, particularly with the family that is left, with the people that are left. I worked with a young woman today who's found her brother. It's very, very traumatic. So I knew somebody who passed today of suicide, which I was surprised to hear about on the news. This is not an easy world, and I have a lot of, yes, foolish heart. When you pass, you will be able to see them and reunite with them. Yes, even in suicide, of course, absolutely, of course. You have a lot of forgiveness and understanding and compassion for what happened there. I don't know. James and I've talked about this many, many times. We've had classes on it. We've had shows on it. I mean, it's, is it that one person on the other side in a group setting decided, I'm going to wake the family up in this situation, because suicide does bring us quickly to our knees and literally wakes us up spiritually in a deep, deep place here. And Earth is a deep place to be. So, but I promise, foolish heart, you'll be back with them. Absolutely. Jamie Snodderly says, both my boys are autistic and their birthdays are March 8th and March 26th. I plan on taking your class. Jamie, that would be great. And I'll go over birth dates and everything. Depending on how many people we have in the class, I'll be able to talk, But the March 26th is a 10 of clubs. And 10 of clubs is somebody who's really smart, wildly creative. And March 8th, so that birthday is coming up, is Two of Spades. Two of Spades may have a little more fear. I don't know. Sometimes often Two of Spades comes in with more fear, but they are so smart and they know what they know. So, okay. Kathleen says, when we choose how and when and where to reincarnate, do we also plan our death? Yes. Thinking of people who die in accidents, the pain it caused loved ones, yes. And can that date be changed? It all depends, Kathleen. It's a great question. And depending on the karma, depending on a lot of things, sometimes it cannot. Sometimes I don't believe in accidents. I believe they are fated events. And so sometimes that is the time for that person. You know, I had a client this morning who was in a head-on collision yesterday. I'm telling you, in fact, we should talk about this driving thing, because I really know with these energies of the eclipses, the retrogrades, nobody, the world the way it is, nobody is in their body and they're driving and they're not paying attention. So please, please, please be in your body when you're driving. Like, pay a lot of attention when you're driving. Because I had a client yesterday, or today I had her, she was in a horrible, horrible head-on injury accident yesterday. And she was driving with her friend, another couple were driving together, and nobody was paying attention. And they, just like, boom. I mean, I'm amazed that they didn't die. So is that a big warning? Yeah. And maybe it's a warning so I can tell everybody, please, for God's sakes, pay attention when you drive. Okay. Sherry, you have a playlist for the 405. I did too, girl. I did too. Sandy, I know you did too. Crystal Cook, hello, Kelly and team, listening from New Zealand. Yay. Thank you. Love this topic and I enjoy all your uploads. Thank you, Crystal Cook. Let's get you a card from the guides. It's easy to pick. Give without expectation. And boy, that is a good one too, Crystal. Give without expectation. I happen to love that one. And I have some questions that I do want to get to also, and I'm going to take as many as I can. So Carlene Reese, I love this question, Carlene. Thank you, honey. She says, how did you know that your life was about responsibility? Was it due to your life path number, which I'm a number 33, and I did a numerology thing. You can go back and look it up. I think it was, I can't remember, it was last week or the week before. I'm telling you, these weeks are like building. Or is it a destiny card? I'm trying to figure this out for myself and I'm having a hard time. And you're a King of Hearts. So King of Hearts, I can tell you right now, Carlene, King of Hearts is about responsibility. It's a responsibility for the heart, responsibility for the mind, but really from the heart. And it's a male brain heart. So yeah, it's a huge responsibility if you're a King of Hearts. So yes, looking at your destiny card, looking at your life path number in numerology. But in my case, and I'll tell you the funniest thing, you guys, this is hilarious. So my sister sends me Instagram stuff, like I don't have time to look at Instagram stuff, but she gets on a roll. And every once in a while, I don't even know how to do Instagram. Thank you, Michelle, for doing it. So anyway, my sister sends me this Instagram today, and it was really hilarious. And what it was, it said, she writes to me and she goes, Kelly, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you're sorry? Are you apologizing to me? Really? This is a first. I'm sorry for what? And she sends me this thing on Instagram and it says, oldest daughters don't have a childhood. It's true. They have internships in how to run a family. And that I thought was so perfect in the way it was stated, because Carlene, that's really how I got there with responsibility. Now we choose before we incarnate, what do we want to work on? And I knew in this lifetime, I came out of the womb knowing, like, get out of the way. I'll take care of it. I'll handle it. I just knew this always. So it's an inner knowing that I had. And it didn't help that my master number 33, it didn't help that I was a 4 of clubs. All of that means like deep responsibility. So anyway, I always knew. And I think it's something that you just intuitively know that you have responsibility. But King of Hearts, you betcha, honey, you definitely have it. You have it. And Laura Crum, hi, Laura Crum. I was so glad to see you the other day. Thanks for joining. We did the Power of 10, and I have another one coming up it's either going to be a date in April. I'm kind of busy because I'm teaching 2 classes in, so it's probably going to be in May. And I'll do another 10 people, and we do 10 minutes each. And the group was really wonderful that we all had on Saturday. And thank you guys. You guys were terrific. And she says, Kellee, is amethyst and aquamarine, are they crystals that can be used for the violet flame and its meditation? It's a great question. And the answer is, I got a yes on the amethyst. Aquamarine, I don't see why not. It's not my first go-to. I love aquamarine. It's one of my favorites. But amethyst, or frankly, a quartz. If you don't have to use any crystals, but if you did, a clear quartz is always great. I love using clear quartz. But amethyst also. Amethyst, for me, it's sensitive. It's really sensitive. So let's say you're doing the violet flame. I'm the violet flame. and then it just kind of crumbles in your hand. I've seen that before. So I probably, for me, would go with the quartz. This is my thought. But great question. Okay, now this is from Jan Whitler. Hi, Jan. She says, have I ever heard of the telepathy tapes? I have not, but I think you sent me an email on that, and I will look it up. She said it's amazing and heartwarming research for autism and telepathy. See, there is such a great connection because everybody I know that's on the spectrum is wildly telepathic because they think in a different way. I mean, it's just a different way. So this is from Pernelia Sinclair. Hi, Pernelia. She said, last week I had a dream vision that an angel tapped his finger on my third eye. So here's your third eye, everybody. It's your forehead, right here. And if an angel tapped it with his finger on her eye, and it opened. I was blinded by intense bright light. That's all I remember. What do I think about this? Pernelia, it means it's an extraordinary experience for you. It means that your third eye is opened. And when your third eye begins to open, you might feel tingling. You might practice with meditating on it and opening it and opening it, shutting it, opening it, shutting it. It's a wonderful. It means your spiritual journey is right here. It's a really good thing because when your third eye begins to open, it connects you to your intuition. We're all intuitive. All of us are intuitive, all of us. And in fact, my client who got in the car accident yesterday, I said to her, I know how intuitive she is. I said, what were you thinking? Did you have any inkling about not driving that day? She goes, I did. I said, and you just couldn't resist. So pay attention to your intuition, everybody. But Pernelia, particularly you, sweetheart. Particularly from Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Thanks for watching. Big transitions in my family. This is from Spiritual Connect. My mother is selling her home and restaurant. Any guidance? That's huge. So let's talk about all the transitions, everybody, because we have a major eclipse. So I'm going to tell you this, Spiritual Connect. Your mom is right at the right time for this because we have 7 planets in Vedic astrology lining up in Pisces. Pisces is the end. It's the last of the 12 signs. It's the last position of it. It's the end. And so there'll be a lot of changes. I think that the portal opens during eclipses. I think we're going to be seeing people surprisingly exit. For your mother, it will be an extraordinary time. It's like letting go of the past and embracing the future here. Okay. It feels like the right thing to do in the right time. So tell her that she's going to do really well here with this. It's just time, everybody. It's wild. Here's a card for her. Oh, that's interesting. Tell her your mom this. She is never alone. So she's getting some help and guidance there from somebody on the other side. Okay. So just remember that. Thank you for that question, because I think that's important here. So let's see here. Okay, Marge Webb. Pretty sure my granddaughter is on the spectrum, but I really think she is a star child. Oh, absolutely. They're total star beings. They're not from around here. Please. They're definitely not from around here, Marge. Take the class. I think so. Karen says, I hate driving in the LA area. I tell my friends down there they need to come visit me in Bishop. That's very, very funny. That is very funny. Debbie Jones Griffin. Hi, Debbie. She says, my brother died by suicide, as did my first husband. Debbie, I'm sorry about that, Debbie. And I've talked to you. It's a big deal, right, Debbie? I mean, the whole family, it puts the whole family in a deep situation. And the other thing is, when someone suicides, it opens a door energetically. It's like, well, my great uncle did it, or my blah blah blah. It runs in family constellations. And when Carrie Gonia does family constellations, and she has Carrie has a new thing. If you go to her website, carriegonia.com, where it's like a monthly subscription to her, some of the things that she does. And one of the things she is doing is family constellations. And in a family constellation, you may pick up on suicide. And so it's a really, there is no greater pain or loss, Debbie, 100%. That's a big one. And the other thing about that, and the other thing is that it leaves the family reeling. Should I have done something? I knew I should have called him. I did it, da, da, da. And I will tell you this, sometimes you just don't second beat yourself up, because if you were supposed to be there, you would have been there. I mean, all of a sudden you might find yourself in a situation, you're talking to somebody and you don't know that you had just saved that person's life just by talking to them. So life is really fascinating and interesting. And again, we call it the game of life, because Earth is a challenged school. It is a school of chaos, confusion, intensity, love, compassion, forgiveness. It's got everything here. So, hi, Lucille. Hi, Christine. She says, Kelly, I've been doing Reiki lately and I've just started to have dreams again. How cool is that? It's pretty exciting, even though they are strange. What kind of meaning is it to have dreams after years of not having any? Oh, Christine, I'll tell you what it is. It's like you unblocked yourself. It's like it's safe now, or it's you've created a space now for it. You're becoming more conscious. I think you had buried your unconscious so deep that if you're not even having a dream to remember it, it's like things that are buried, and now they get to resurface. It's a beautiful thing. Everybody with these energies, please pay attention to your dreams. And before I forget, pay attention to your beloved animals. The animals are going to feel this energy. They're going to bark. They're going to howl. Some of them might get sick. I'm just watching the energy play out with animals as well. So just keep an eye on it, okay? Lisa Bloom, suicide destroyed someone you knew. Yeah. Oh, Lisa, it is definitely a destroyer. I'm sorry, Renee. Would you put that back up again? Lori Sherberg. Hi, Lori. What is the name of the crystal that you're wearing? Oh, I will tell you. I would like one, and my daughter is in Arizona. Okay, this is a Larimar. Now, Larimar is the stone for your soulmate. And we're going to be talking about Larimar on our crystal class on April 26th. Because a week before I met Don, I had a sister-in-law that was with my brother. He was filming a movie in the Dominican Republic, and he's a director. And they came back, my sister-in-law came back, and she said, I bought you this piece of Larimar. And I wasn't sure what Larimar was at all. And she said, it's for your finding your soulmate. And then she said, and that's not enough. She said, I got you a cross. No, I didn't wear a cross, but she got me a cross, a Larimar cross. And then she got me this other beautiful necklace of Larimar. So I was wearing that and holding this and doing this. I met Don 1 week later. True story. And then Don he gave me this one. And I have Larimar earrings on too. So I love Larimar. Larimar. It's wonderful, wonderful stone to use. Okay. Hi, Eric. Yes. My son is autistic. with the birth date of 10/5. So your son is autistic. You should definitely take our class. I think you'll find it really, really helpful. I'll tell you what, that Prajna is so darn smart, and she knows so much, and she's learned so much about herself with autism. You know, like all of a sudden, why would she have outbursts and all kinds of things? And oh, she's got tips and all kinds of things. Anyway, I don't want to go on about that, but it's going to be a really good class. 10/5, it is, oh, 4 of diamonds. Ooh, I forgot about that. 4 of diamonds. That means your son is very solid, really smart. I mean, like really smart. 4 diamonds are so smart. And they can, they know what they know. They're very, very intuitive, honey. Very intuitive, very smart. Okay. Lisa Kupka, she says, Kelly, it's a crazy question, but do the alignment of the planets cause more sinus issues than normal? Okay, I know, Michelle, you're laughing about this because, Michelle, I know you just had a situation. I'm going to say yes, Lisa, and I don't know how to explain it, why, but I've heard of more sinus problems now than ever. So there is something about all the ailments that come up during this time too. It's like people are not in their body. They're shook to their core. They're not taking care of themselves. So whatever you do, even if you need to do the violet flame over and over and over just to get grounded, do it. Do what you need to do to take care of you. Anne Margaret says, what? It's so true. You were driving today in Boston and everybody was speeding more. Yeah, right? I'm telling you, it's true. It just is. Now, I live on a farm. The only thing I have to worry about if I drive are deer. I don't have the traffic anymore. Vicky, Nathan, sweetheart, this is for you because I got a big nudge from Mike. I was like, oh, okay, Vic, here we go. Another puzzle piece. Although you may not understand why, everything is happening for a reason here. So, Vicky, just remember that. He nudged me. I was like, okay, Mike, I won't forget. And Lori counts on it. This is from your dad. I am learning over here. Now, look at that book, Lori. So whatever he's learning, I'm sure will be passed down to you. And you guys need to remember that. Our loved ones, let's say we need help with something. They will go on that side. They'll help. They'll bring as many things as they can to help us. Now, they can't interfere with our free will, but it's a big deal here. It is a big deal. Lots of accidents in Austin, Texas. Yeah, it's the truth. Okay, what does the blood moon symbolize? You know, I can't remember, and this one I shouldn't. I actually don't remember. If somebody could look that up for me, I would appreciate it because I can't remember. I normally know that answer like the back of my hand, but I cannot remember right now what it is. So your birthday's tomorrow, May 7th. Yes. So absolutely, let's get you a card. So May 7th. I'm sorry, March 7th. I got that mixed up with May. March 7th is a 3 of spades. 3 of spades is very creative, like really creative. Also, really good at business. So it's an interesting dynamic. I've known lawyers that are photographers. I've known actors that run their own business. It's really interesting. It's my daughter's best friend's birthday tomorrow too. And really, really special. So let's get you a card. You are here for a reason. You are here for a reason here. And that is from your guides. Everybody needs to remember why they are here, especially as the energies get a little more complex. Remember why you're here. You wanted to be here to have this, experience on Earth. Earth is a school. It will always be a school of chaos, sometimes more than others. Right now, it seems to be more than others. But we'll all learn an awful lot. Okay. Kim Ann says a SpaceX experimental craft exploded over the Dominican Republic today. Oh, my own. I did not hear that. Sorry, Don. I couldn't resist. Vera Tugwell. Hi, honey. Can I have a card? I have people I've never seen in my life showing up in my dreams. That's what I'm talking about. That will happen. I want to know if they have a message for me. I don't know what the message is because I don't know what the dream was. But look at the dream and let me get you a card. So January 25th. Telling you there's a lot of that. January 25th is a 2 of diamonds, and 2 of diamonds are powerhouses, actually, wildly intuitive. So look who it is that came up to your dream. Everybody can analyze your own dream. who was it that showed up? Was this person for asking for forgiveness? Was this person just like, was it something that you hadn't dealt with when you knew the person? You know, it's all like that. Oh, Mary Lou, thanks for listening from Pennsylvania. Emily Borderline, she says, will we be moving into our new home in October? I'll tell you what, Emily, it's interesting. There will be a lot of changes right now for this year. Particularly if your birthdays are in March and in March, April, September, or October. These are when the eclipses energy are, because there'll be 2 more in September. Lots of change. Eclipses bring change. This year's going to bring a lot of change. So it wouldn't surprise me if you will be moving in, Emily, in October. Okay, Sarah says, I'd love a card from the guides. Well, here's Sarah Bressers. Here's for you. Whew, there you go, honey. Never judge another. That's so true. Is anybody watching White Lotus? I love that show. I can't get enough of that show. I love that show. Okay, Gretchen White says, flying into Burbank Airport would be the best option in June if it's doable from your airport. Yeah, it is. Burbank is the best option if you can. Absolutely, Gretchen, for sure. But because it's a smaller option, you know, sometimes it's a little more expensive. Sometimes it's a little more challenged. But there are some people that get to fly direct. I don't get to fly direct anywhere. Yeah, I have no direct flights anywhere. Oh, that's not true. Dallas. That's not true. Dallas. So, oh yeah, no, and definitely, Julie, definitely Burbank Airport is way easier than LAX. But in the event that you can only get into LAX, it's easy to. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, Melissa Holloway says, I keep sending so many signs for my Nona. Oh, you're seeing, I think you mean, and you're seeing the number 222. I love that. So 222 is partnerships. It can be love. It can be all of that. Let's see. Sarah says, hi, Sarah. She says, how would you use hemamorphite? I think that's for grounding, Sarah. I think it's a good one for grounding. So that's how I would use it. But Sharon Foster says, intuition, I've heard that word several times today. I think we're going to be using that word and hearing that a lot. So Brad Phillips, are there any career opportunities on the horizon for my brilliant fiance? Her birthday is August 5th. I'm thrilled that you have a fiance. My fiance. I'm thrilled that you have that, Brad. And August 5th is an 8 of diamonds. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 8 of diamonds comes for success, honey. So yeah, there will be, after, I'll tell you this, Brad, with this major eclipse on the 29th, of March, it brings all kinds of opportunities for people. It will, particularly people in the arts, particularly people that are artisans. If you're an artist or a musician, which I know you are, Brad, or an actor or any of that, it brings wild possibilities this year, right now, and going further. But yeah, I think this should be doing just fine there. Okay. Hi, Laura. She said, my birthday was March 4th. Any late birthdays? Well, thanks for joining me, Laura. And so you are March 4th, and March 4th, that was yesterday, right? Yeah, no, a couple of days ago. 6 of spades. So 6 of spades is, again, somebody very creative, extremely creative, the 6 of spades. And this will be a year for you. I would think that you would experience a lot of healing, a lot of healing this year, a lot of healing for you. That's what I really feel this year for you. Okay. Anne Margaret says, I would love a card to represent my new second job in healthcare. Is it the right choice or not? I think right now everything is the right choice. Here we go. Know your truth, Anne Margaret. So whatever's right for you, okay? Whatever is right for you. Paige says, my husband's birthday is 9/11 and mine is 2/9. So when do we see you moving? Again, this year, Paige, this year could be a big year for move. A lot of changes. People are really making big changes going forward. So it could be this year. Edith Quinones, Says, my grandson has autism and he's 8 years old. He's such a lovable boy. I bet, Edith, you should take our class. It'll be fun for you. I mean, we're going to be learning so much about it. It's going to be wonderful. And your birthday is 5/24, May 24, and that is an 8 of clubs. Very, very, very intuitive is what you would. Wanda Man says, this crazy energy, does it affect the other side? Great question. Wanda, what a brilliant question. Does it affect the other side? They all are watching. They will say to me, I'll be in a session with somebody, and it just comes right out. They'll say, well, we are aware of what's going on here. So the answer is they are aware of it. They are all watching it because it's a very special time on Earth to be here. So they're all watching it. And, before I forget, I just want to put this out there. I have sessions available next week. So if anybody needs a session with me, go to my website, kelleewhite.com. And I'm happy to do a session with people. Emily said, Kelly, I had a dream last week that my childhood home burned down. My dear friend was comforting me, my sister and my mom. My mom died in 2013. So, Emily, it's an interesting dream, sweetheart. It means, that childhood is over on some level here. And, but you had a friend there that was comforting you. And that's a really good thing. And I mean, that's a dream that we could really explore there. Your childhood home was burned down. A lot of the past probably has come to an end, or something to deal with. Maybe something time to deal with, and your mom died in 2013. Let's get you a card from your mom, honey. Okay? I will always point you in the right direction. All right, Emily? I know your mom loves you. God bless you, honey. Thanks for writing that question. That's an extraordinary dream. Linda Alquist says, my grief has been terrible since my husband passed in last January. When will I start feeling like I'm a part of the world again? Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry, honey. And you are too, 9/26. Well, let's see. The first year is really like a dream state of not even believing it. It's really challenging. The second year is often more challenging and harder. And so have you gone to grief.com? Grief.com is a wonderful site that David Kessler has. And it's a really good site. And that could help. Again, because it just takes a while to start to feel again like part of the world. Because you lost so much of your world. I mean, people will tell you I work a lot with widows. A lot. So I know that this is a big one. Rylus Light, when is the class? The class for autism is April 5th at 11 a.m. Central Time, and it's going to be a 3-hour. Hi, Lisa Jamuzian. She said, have you heard of metaphysical teacher R.J. Spina? He shares that he's the incarnation of Master R. Saint Germain. I don't know, but I'll have to look him up. That's very interesting. But Lisa, I think that you had said that you had given my book to the woman for Beautiful Noise, that it plays my mom on that in the play. And I really appreciated that. And I wanted to know if you still talk to this woman, or if you still know the woman, the actress that plays the character of the therapist, which actually is my mom. I'm going to the play on March, the last show on a Sunday in Madison. I think it's March 20, I don't even know, 22nd or 23rd, something like that. The last show, when is it? Oh, March 23rd, that's it. And I'm happy to bring her a copy and give it to her. So if you are in touch with her, let me know, okay? So anyway, well, everybody, let's see. Okay, Victoria's my last one. My brother had a stroke and his birthday is 8/4. You're the second person today to talk about family members that had strokes. And his birthday on 8/4. I'm telling you, these are big energies, 8/4. Strokes teach us patience. And that's 9 of diamonds. 9, oh, is that right? Yeah, no, that's not right. Hold on a second. 8/4. Oops, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, 9 of diamonds. Okay, so 9 of diamonds is somebody that is very strong, and this would be teaching him probably patience. Julie says, Vicky's mic is so wonderful. He really is. Anyway, blood moon, thank you, is a total lunar eclipse appearing reddish in color, is often interpreted spiritually as a time of deep introspection, confronting hidden emotions, and exploring the shadow self, signifying a heightened connection to the subconscious and the potential for significant transformation, often associated with endings and new beginnings due to its dramatic, and that's the word I used early on, visual change. In some cultures, it can also be seen as a sign of significant change or even a warning of impending challenges. Well, there you go. That's about says it all. So everybody, thank you for joining me tonight. And then on Monday, join me and I'll be with Liz Cook. And we are going to be talking about more of these eclipses, but also doing tarot readings with this. So this will be really interesting. So thanks, everybody. Take care, my friends.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.